take a run through of Mary Grigoriadis' Strokescapes from the 1970s and 1980s. Well, I bumped into Mary last year when they had a Pattern&Decorative themed show here, and spoke to her briefly at that point, and she said she was having a one-person show here in the spring, so I made a point of coming back and taking a look at the show, and I thought that you viewers might enjoy some of this. Well, we'll take a look at some of the smaller paintings. This piece is called Byzantine Strokescape. And this is probably the oldest piece in the show. This is from 1972. And this is titled Cypress Clouds. One of the things that I enjoy about some of this early work is how much raw canvas Mary has left, and she's actually incorporated this into the design and the color scheme. This is titled Rain Dance. And I love the way that Mary makes her brush strokes. You know, this is kind of a precursor of people like Jonathan Lasker. It's titled October Shower. Well, in the press release, they say that Mary has been making secular icons since the early 1970s and building designs of frames within frames. And, geez, although these pieces are probably nearly 40 years old, they look very fresh. Well, this piece is titled New Day, 1975-76. And this is like the earliest large-scale piece in the show. Now, Mary was one of the, I would say, pro-team members of the Pattern&Decorative movement, and this was some of the first real intense painting that I saw when I got to New York, and I've always been kind of attracted to this kind of work, and I think Mary is probably one of these people that has never achieved the kind of recognition that she deserves. Now, this piece is titled Rain Dance from 1974, and it's a oil and acrylic on linen, 66 by 66, so that's about a 5.5 foot square. And like I was saying, I think that the way that Mary has built up her strokes here, I think kind of influenced people like Lasker and some of the more, I guess what they're calling pop abstractionists. But she's got so much intent and discipline in the way that she lays this paint down that it's almost like she's rehearsed these strokes. And I also noticed that looks like she might lay out the design initially with maybe a magic marker on that raw linen. Oh, hey, there's the artist right there. This is titled By the Light of the Silvery Moon. It's 1985, 1986. I kind of like the dark, brooding palette of this piece. You know, this all makes me more interested in seeing some of Mary's new paintings she's got coming up. This is titled Nike, 1986. 66 by 72 inches. And boy, this one you can really see that there's got almost a kind of a Baroque decorative sense. These large kind of swirling leaf forms, paisley forms. These dark blues are just gorgeous. I remember reading one of Clement Greenberg's essays where he talks about he can tell whether a painter is really good or bad by how their edges of their colors bump up against each other, and Mary is someone that really is able to make the edges a wonderful and very sensuous part of the paintings. Oh, this is a work on paper titled By the Sea No. 2. And it looks like it's on black paper, pastel on paper. I was thinking this kind of makes me think of Elizabeth Murray maybe, but she's got a great sense of composition, and I love her palette. And just briefly look at a couple of the drawings. It's a pretty simple, straightforward works on paper, but you can see the wonderful design sense that Mary uses. The repeated pattern. And she never gets boring with this. I like this one because it's asymmetrical and maybe some of the punchier colors. This is titled Fancy Free No. 9. Caran d'Ache and ink on paper, 14 by 17 inches. Shoes. Well, I was talking to Mary, and she said that she'd actually gotten a lot of attention and had put all of her articles together in this book. So let's take a little look through here. It's from Art in America, Women in Arts, review by Max Kozloff, Carter Radcliffe, David Burdon, Ellen LaBelle, April Kingsley, more April Kingsley, Sylvia Moore, Peter Frank, Karina Robbins. This is on the cover of Women Arts News. Becca Nemser, John Martyr, Ora Lehrman, that's a pretty respectable bibliography there. These are two pieces that are from the 1980s. This one is titled Night Bloom, and I think this might be the punchiest piece in the show. I'll get up and take a closer look at these strokes. You know, also, say if you look at this squiggly red line, you can see that it starts out as a permanent green, and then there's a cadmium red deep, and then a kind of a yellow green, and on top of that she's got this vermilion. So There's a lot of method and layering in these pieces, and I love the way that these clumps at the end of the strokes build up. I love her spiky form she's got sticking out of the corners. This is titled "Shall We Dance?" and you can definitely see that this would be very influential for the pattern decorative people. You know, and these brush marks give the paint quality almost a like a silk brocade quality, the way they reflect the light. And it's great the way she's able to bend them around and make them follow her forms. These paintings are almost like a dictionary of various decorative forms. You've got the repeated dots, the leaf forms, paisley forms, stripes, squiggly lines. And that's not even to mention the color. This is James Combe reporting on Mary Grigoriadis' Strokescapes, 1970s and 1980s, here at the ACCOLA GRIEFEN Gallery, 547 West 27th Street in Chelsea. Thank you, Kate. Thank you.